people who lived on this land 3,000 years ago are telling us a story. It was an existence that was a religious belief for the ancients and a fruit of science. A mystery that has been kept hidden for thousands of years lies right before your eyes. Togo Hwasun Jeollanam-do Province is one of Korea's major dolmen sites. Over 600 dolmens from the Bronze Age are spread out across the hill. The dolmens are called southern-style dolmens because they are mostly found in the southern region of Korea. In the southern-style dolmens, the ground is dug up first, after which a chamber is made with stone in which the body is buried. Several smaller stones are placed around the burial site, after which a large stone is placed on top. There is a massive dolmen that stands out in the Hwasun Dolmen site. Korean dolmens are much larger than the dolmens found in other countries. At the Hwasun Dolmen site alone, there are dozens of dolmens that weigh over 100 tons. Pingme Rock, the largest dolmen in Hwasun, weighs a whopping 290 tons. The massive dolmen's weight is staggering. How did the people of the Bronze Age build such a large dolmen at a time when cranes did not exist? Where did the large stones used to build the dolmens come from? We found traces of stone cutting on rocks at a nearby mountain. There were incisions at certain intervals. Could this be proof that the rocks were cut? We use traditional stone cutting methods as a reference to find out. First, holes are carved using stone and dry wood is hammered into the hole. Then water is poured over the wood, making it expand, thus cutting the rock. This would leave behind traces on the rock having been cut. But there is another mystery to solve. How were the people able to move such heavy stones? It is about 300 meters from the mountains to the dolmen. How were they able to move a rock that weighed hundreds of tons without any special equipment? Looking closely, we can see that the large flat cover stone is placed on top of smaller stones on the ground. Then, how are they able to move the massive stone and place them on top of the smaller stones? Considering the circumstances, perhaps they used the logs they used to cut the rock. If they had used logs and ropes as a lever, it would have been possible to lift the stone. And if logs were placed on the ground with the rock on top, the logs could be rolled to move the massive stone. Also, if a gradual slope was made around the bottom stones with earth, the cover stone could have been rolled up the slope. The dolmens are structures that were built by carefully laying down the foundation, artifacts that were created using scientific principles. Ancient people wished to communicate with the gods. They believed that the light reflected from mirrors would convey their wishes to the heavens. who owned the mirrors that shone the light which called upon gods thousands of years ago? The world's largest dolmen site is located in Gochang, Jeollabuk-do Province. Hundreds of dolmens left behind by people of the Bronze Age 3,000 years ago stand at the foot of a mountain. The dolmens of Mesan village are not just many in number, the shapes and sizes are all different as well. There is one dolmen that stands out. The cover stone alone weighs hundreds of tons. It is 4 meters in height, a massive stone grave. How many people were mobilized to build this dolmen? If we can calculate the number, perhaps we can estimate the size of Mesan village during the Bronze Age. On average, it takes the strength of 10 adult men in order to transport a 1-ton rock. Therefore, nearly 3,000 men would have been needed to transport a 297-ton rock. If we then add the average number of families, we reach the conclusion that at least 15,000 people were living in a single village. These graves are found in each region in large groups. The large communities and massive dolmens support the fact that the Bronze Age was a hierarchical society. An authority that ruled and led the members of the society. It was they who mobilized manpower to build massive graves for themselves. The appearance of rulers that governed over the Bronze Age society. Who could they have been? We found clues about the ruling class among the artifacts. There are bronze artifacts that are found in all the exceptionally large graves. One of which is the bronze rattle with 8 bells. The rattle made from bronze is the most typical artifact from the Bronze Age. Another artifact found in the graves of the ruling class is a bronze mirror, the Danyus Haemungyong. It is the essence of the Bronze Age culture, carved with a beautiful geometric pattern. The Danyus Haemungyong mirror was a valuable item that only the ruling class could own. At an age where people worshiped the heavens, the bronze rattles and mirrors were used during ceremonial rites. The head of the tribe would hang the shiny mirror around his neck and shake the bronze rattle as he communicated with the gods. They were symbols that showed he was the one that carried out the gods' will. An age where people were divided into class and rulers appeared, creating a new social order that was different from before. The society of the Bronze Age went through dynamic changes as it passed through history.